Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time of the time me and my friends messed with a Ouija board. So I am going to quickly read you off some rules that I found online so that you guys have an idea of what went wrong that night and you guys can see what rules we broke. And yeah, so let's just go right into this video. Okay, so rule number 1 is Ouija boards are not a joke. Read up on all the rules before you play. We did not do that. So 1 out of 1 broken. The most important rule is never to taunt a spirit to communicate with you through the Ouija board. There was one person, maybe two, that were kind of doing it. They were kind of making a joke out of it. So I would give us half a point for that because there was like 8 of us and I would say 2 of them were kind of taunting it, but the rest of us weren't. So 1.5 out of 2 broken. Never ask the Ouija board when you are going to die. I didn't do this. Again, one of the people who were taunting the spirit did. So 2.5 out of 3 broken. We used a Ouija board alone. We didn't. There was like 8 of us. 4 people had their hand on the planchette, I think that's what it's called. 3 or 4 people had their hands on the board at all times, so only half of us were using it at one time, so we were never using it alone. So 2.5 out of 4, go us. Do not use the Ouija board in your home. I will give us half a mark for this one again because we didn't use it in my house, but we used it in the park in my development. So where my parents live it is a development, so there's a bunch of houses and then a park for that specific, like, it was, to sum it up, it was our neighborhood park, so it was my home but it wasn't in the house, so 0.5 for us, I think. One leader in the group should be, or one person in the group should be the leader. We had that, so go us. If you are not the leader, you should keep quiet. Nope, that was not us. So 4 out of 6 I think we're at. We're not doing too good with the marks here, guys. The leader should not ask joke questions. We're failing miserably. Don't leave the planchette on the board. I didn't know this was a rule until right now. So I'm going to say we did do that. When you're not playing, it says when you're not using the board, don't keep the planchette on the board. So I'm gonna say we broke that one too. Always in the session with goodbye. We did this every single time. The location you use should be dark and free of background noise. It was pitch black out. It was like 1 a.m. We were at the park, so it's dark outside. Background noise, like I said, it is a development. People camp by where I live and people live in houses where I live, so there was definitely some background noise and we were outside, so obviously birds, animals, everything like that. So again, half a mark for that one. Spirit continues to count down or go through the alphabet, immediately end the session by saying goodbye. This happened to us and we will totally get into it, but it happened to us and we did go right to goodbye, so another point, another kudos to us. Again, if it makes an infinity sign, so like this, end the session, we did that, it happened to us and we did that. You think you are contacting an evil spirit, immediately end the session, again, we did that, so we're getting some ground here. We did follow some rules. If you speak to a spirit who identifies as, Haley Reese did a video all about this spirit and she wouldn't say the name, so I'm not too sure why she wouldn't say the name, but if she's not going to be saying the name, then I'm not going to say the name. So it'll be up on the screen and I'm going to refer to the spirit as Z. So if you talk to Z, say goodbye. This is where my whole story pretty much begins, so we did that. Don't use a Ouija board in a cemetery. Like I said, we were at my local park, so it wasn't a cemetery. If you're experiencing depression, it is a good idea to avoid the board. Like I said, I was with 8 people, so I don't know if any of them were experiencing it. I wasn't, so can't really say it on that one. I never burn a Ouija board. I still have the Ouija board, so that's not a problem. I think that list of rules was missing some, but that is just a quick overview of the rules that you want to follow while playing with the Ouija board. A little back history of what was happening. We were all drunk. We were very, very, very drunk. It was my grad barbecue, which means like I had just graduated, so we had a celebration, we had a barbecue, lots of food, lots of booze. All 8 of us were drunk. So red flag number 1, Haley Reese. Like I said, that list of rules was missing some because all the videos that I have watched on Ouija boards, you are not supposed to do it inebriated, which means drunk, high, when you're in a bad headspace, anything like that. So we were all completely drunk. I want to say there were like 8 of us here. We were all coworkers except for one girl who was my cousin. So there was 8 of us. 7 of us did work together and 1 did not. Like I said, she was related to me, or is related to me. And so we were all very familiar with each other. We were all very comfortable with each other. There were there was one non-believer for sure, like not even like skeptic, like just a non-believer. And then there were probably 2 skeptics. But we had 3 or 4 people using the board at a time. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind because we were starting sessions, ending sessions, because we wanted to like give everybody an opportunity. We wanted everyone to experience it. We wanted everyone to play with it. So we, kept taking turns. There was me and one other girl who were always using the board. So 2 of us and then 1 or 2 other people would join me and this other girl. So like I said, there were about 3 people who were either skeptics or just non-believers straight out. And so when they were using the board, I feel like they were just trying to toy with us, trying to freak us out, and like just taking it like as a joke. The one definitely did, and so she was only in like 2 sessions out of 10 because we're like, you're not taking this seriously. We want to actually see if it works. We want to actually experience it. We don't want you to mess with us. So she was only in 2 of 10, maybe. So throughout, like I said, we had about 10-ish sessions because there was 8 of us. We wanted everyone to experience it, and then creepy stuff started happening. So we continued on and we ended sessions, started sessions, everything like that. So we roughly had 10 sessions in total, give or take a few, you know. So we just started asking like the basic questions, like what's your name, how'd you die, why are you here, anything you want to tell us, everything like that. I can't remember exactly what we asked, but it was all like just the basic questions everybody asks a Ouija board, or every video that you see is what they ask. Like, you know, it was just the basic questions. In the sessions, we did end up asking who we were talking to, and I believe it was an 8-year-old. So that just freaked one of the people I was with right out. So we ended that session and then began a new session. So we probably were like, I'm going to say playing with it, but for me it's not a game. For 6 out of 8 people that night, it wasn't a game. We were taking it seriously. But I mean, I'm gonna say it playing a game because it's just a lot easier than saying beginning a session, doing this, doing that. So I'm just gonna be saying playing it, but please know that like that wasn't our intentions. Like that's not actually what was happening. But anyway, so when we would start a new session, and about probably like 5 minutes into playing, things started to take a turn. It started making the figure 8s or infinity signs, so we would end the session. It started doing the alphabet thing, so we ended the session, and then it going from Z-O-Z-O-Z-O. It was going the entire alphabet, and one girl knew the signs already. I don't know how she knew the signs, but she knew the signs, so she quickly made us say goodbye. We were all confused about like why she was doing that, and then she told us that it was Z, or that she read that it was Z or whatever. And that happened for probably 4 or 5 sessions straight, where it was like not even a minute. And like probably the freakiest part for me was when we didn't even ask anything yet. We just like, from what we read, we went like this with the planchette, and then right after we done like however many times you're supposed to do that, it started doing a sign for Z. So that really freaked us out. We did try a few more times, but it was always coming up as Z. So we just at some point decided to stop trying. Now I can't remember which session it was during, but it was me, the girl that was always playing, the girl that was always playing with me, the only guy in our group, and one of the non-believers. And we, you know, it was kind of freaky for us, so I can't even imagine how he felt. The non-believer was messing around and asked when the guy was going to die. Now that is a big no-no. You don't want to know that information. You don't want a board or spirit through a board to tell you that information, whether it's correct or not. It still could get into your head. And it was like, the board told us, and it was like age 64 or something like that. And after that, he was just not the same for that night. I don't know what was up, but we'll get into that. But like, that was just so freaky. I believe that happened during our last session, and then we decided to walk home, which like I said is like a 2-minute walk because it was my community park. When we got home, we watched movies. We ended up watching a scary movie and then a comedy movie so that we could all sleep. Like I said, when we were in the park, it was like 1 a.m. Like I said, we were all drunk, so we weren't tired, and we were all sleeping at my house because it was my grad barbecue. We were all drinking, so nobody was gonna be driving. So yeah, we were all staying at my house anyway, so we turned on a couple of movies. The guy friend that found out when he was going to die, I personally don't believe that was accurate information, just because you don't know who you're talking to, and with our prior experiences that night, I think it was just the spirit personally, or not personally, I think it was just the spirit purposely messing with us and messing with him. But after that, he was not acting the same. He is usually a very loud, energetic person, and after that whole experience, he was zoning out. We would like say his name over and over, probably 2-3 times, and then he would look at us. He was very quiet throughout the rest of the night, and you know, he could have just been tired or freaked out or annoyed by hanging out with 7 girls all night. Me and a few other girls that were there, we think something, we don't know what happened, but we think something happened. You know, I don't think he was tired. I don't think he was just zoning out. I don't think he was annoyed. I think something happened, as well as some other girls that I talked to about it. Again, he was with 7 girls. He was maybe trying to purposely freak us out as well. You never know, but it was pretty chilling because, like I said, he was very energetic, very outgoing, and like the rest of the night he was shut down. Like, yeah, it was just very not usual to see him like that. Take this story for what you will, whether you believe in this type of stuff or you don't. I personally do believe in that stuff. I personally do believe that some of the sessions we didn't talk long, but some of the sessions we did pick up Z, and you know, it's just, there was one girl who was purposely messing with us, but like I said, we only let her join in the sessions 2 out of 10-ish times, especially after asking when our guy friend was going to die. We were like, nope, you're done, like you're not joining us anymore. But she was still around. Say there was 3 of us actually using the board. The other 5 people were still around us observing. It was just 3 of us had our fingers on the planchette. And so yeah, that is it for today's story time, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I did an okay job at telling it. I know I'm kind of like rambly and like flustered with my words, but keep in mind that this was also almost 5 years ago. It was 4 years ago. It was like 4 years ago and 2 months. So it was like 4 years ago. So my memories are a little foggy. Just writing my notes for this video, I was remembering more and more stuff. I almost didn't even mention our guy friend and the whole asking when he was going to die part because I forgot about it. And then I was reading Ouija board rules, and that was one of the rules, and I was like, oh my god, that is what happened. And so, if I can remember any more information, I will definitely share it with you guys. I will do another story time, and maybe I'll even bring one of the other girls who were there that night on my channel. Um, Maybe in a few months, not quite, because still nobody knows about my videos. But that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.